In Isaiah chapter 53, we find this prophecy concerning Jesus. And it's a chapter known as the prophecy of the suffering servant. And in this chapter, I want to point out one line in particular about Jesus. And it says this, that he was numbered with the transgressors. And we find that this is certainly true, right? All throughout the Gospels, we find stories of Jesus spending his time with transgressors, with sinners. I think of the scene where Jesus is having his feet washed by a woman of ill repute. She's washing his feet with her tears and drying them with her hair, and everyone around is amazed that Jesus is even allowing her to touch him because of the type of sinful person she is. I think of Zacchaeus, that Jesus chose to have dinner at Zacchaeus' house, not only a tax collector, but an extortionist. And again, people were confounded about why someone like the Messiah would have dinner with someone like Zacchaeus. We find Jesus touching lepers and healing them. He's calling sinners and tax collectors to not only dine with him, but to be his disciples. And all the while, he is defying common thinking that if you ate with this type of people, if you dined with them and touched them, and if you spent your life with them, then you would become like them, sinful and stained and defiled, unclean. But we find that Jesus, in his holiness, demonstrates that the opposite is true. Not only did they fail to defile him, but his holiness becomes their holiness. He touches the leper, and not only does he not get leprosy, but the leper becomes clean. The sinfulness is taken away, and they are able to absorb the holiness of Jesus. On Good Friday, when we see Jesus on the cross, we will see that he is crucified with two bandits, two transgressors. Once again, we find Jesus numbered with the transgressors, this time on the cross. And one of those mocks Jesus, but the other rebukes the man who is mocking, and he says, "This man has done nothing wrong." Somehow this transgressor on the cross sees Jesus and recognizes a profound truth, that while he is numbered with the transgressors, he is not a transgressor. He is not like them. He has done nothing wrong. He is innocent. And this man recognizes that Jesus on the cross is doing something remarkable. He is among us. And he looks outwardly as though he is cursed as we are cursed, unclean as we are unclean. But he recognizes that something strange is going on with this Jesus on the cross, that this Jesus isn't just a dying, failed Messiah. In fact, this Jesus is the coming King. This Jesus on the cross is Jesus, the saving King. And so the man says to his king, he says, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Somehow he recognizes that Jesus isn't dying as a failed Messiah, that his death on the cross isn't a defeat. Somehow he sees that his death is the means by which he is entering into his kingdom. And he has this request that he would be remembered when Jesus claims his throne. To which Jesus responds, "Today you will be with me in paradise." This is paradoxically where Jesus is meant to be, numbered with the transgressors so that the transgressors can be with him in paradise. He has become what we are so that we may become what he is. He became poor so that through his poverty we might become rich. As you spend time with God, you may be tempted to hide yourself from him, to hide the things that are wrong with you, to hide the shame, to hide the inadequacies, the deficiencies, the sins, the transgressions, the failures, the uncleanliness. But Jesus does not want you to hide those things from him. He comes to you as you are and accepts you as you are, to be with you as you are, so that his holiness may become your holiness, so that today you could be with him in paradise as he shapes you and molds you and makes you clean by his blood on the cross.